rant today.
Oh, so we're live and we're letting everybody know that as of
Sorry.
right now, you're going to have a rant, and that's something
I'm
to look
gonna
forward
have
to.
a rant, baby. Little switcheroo on you that I just did here. But anyways, welcome back. We are officially starting our Slightly Average Guys podcast. We appreciate everybody who is joining. We appreciate everybody who is listening. Hit that like button, hit that follow button, share it with your friends. Leave us an amazing review if you thought it was amazing. No harsh feelings. And let's get this party started.
And we are live on all of the things, as the kids say these days, right? We are live on Twitch, we're live on YouTube, and my personal Facebook account. So if Andy and Ryan want to go share it to theirs, right, so that way their fan base can actually see it, that would be a positive and work out a little bit better. But continue to follow us on any one of those that you continue to want. We're probably going to potentially shift more over to the YouTube type of thing, a little less dedicated on Twitch, just because there's some craziness going on with that. But let everybody know we will always be able to be found almost everywhere. So let's get right into it.
Wednesday.
Almost every Wednesday too. Trying to.
Since when did you buy a horse?
I bought a horse?
I looked up Ryan Cole on Facebook.
What? What? Now I just want to look up myself on Facebook.
Ryan Cole. First thing that popped up was you holding a horse like it was the best thing in the world.
Oh, the one that pops up. The one that pops up on mine is literally a Ryan Cole. He's standing in front of a tombstone, and it looks like he's holding a turtle. Man, that's weird.
Congratulations on your horse.
Yeah.
I like the horse more than the turtle. Anyway.
Oh, that's great.
We have already derailed, but we appreciate everybody following us, listening along. Let's jump right in it this week. Ryan, I heard through the postman that you got some archaic type of request, right? It was something from, I feel like it's like a previous life, a previous world where you had to go out in public, you had to do a certain duty. What did you get this week?
You make it so vague. Let's just call a spade. Okay, let's not, we got to have some type of like suspense, right?
Dun, dun, dun.
So ultimately, and I've never actually seen one of these things, right? Because the last time I got one of them, which is summons for your jury's service, right? The last time I got one of these, I was in college, and my parents handled everything. They're like, they can't go, he blah, 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 blah. So I never even saw anything. This is my first official form that I am seeing, that I'm looking at for January 28th, and I have to be there, follow these steps, and do everything. I'm kind of nervous. I'm like, I never done this before. Like, what is this?
What do I do? What do I do with my hands?
My hands are sweaty. What do I do with them? So anyways, it's kind of scary, to be honest. And it's talking about like, you have to dress up, you can't do this, you can't do that. And I'm trying to follow the steps. When do I have to do the steps by? So anyways, I'm just really nervous. I was asking you guys a little bit earlier if you have ever experienced anything like that. And it's just it's a new experience for me. I'm nervous. Not saying that I have to go yet, right? I might not have to go, and I hope I don't have to go, right? But I might just say I have Tourette's and I can't, because every time in the middle of my speaks, he's guilty, and and I just can't do that. So
guilty.
He's guilty. Sorry, Your Honor. I have Tourette's, and every time you're guilty, and I just can't do it.
I've been like, I've had that come to me, I think 5 times, and I've only ever had to actually go once. And by the time I got down there, they had already, like, the moment I got there, they're like, yeah, you were already cut from it. I'm like, well, that would have been nice to know. They're like, well, you can call ahead. I was like, I did the 24-hour mark like you're supposed to. She's like, well, you can call like an hour ahead. I'm like, What? Where do we live? Can't you just, like, what? Anyway.
Just let me know. Last minute decision. Hashtag life. Everything last minute. Oh, yeah, we don't really know. The organization of this is really bad, so my apologies.
Last time I checked, the government doesn't do anything great. So, like, I was going to call, and you were actually going to tell me that you didn't need me an hour before the thing, right?
Yeah, we actually knew, like, 3 weeks ago, man. We're on our game.
Yeah, they're like, we got a really good system. I'm like, well, can you update it to, like, this was, like, 2018 and like literally just text me that you no longer need me? Like, can we make that a thing? Because like that would be awesome.
Yeah, right, dude. They're still
Jeez.
working off green letters.
Well, I mean, if we just want to get into rants about the government, I did my taxes this week. I know everything's been extended and you don't have to, but I finally got the last piece of paperwork. Andy did as well to be able to file our stuff from one of the businesses that we own. And yeah, I thought it was going to be more difficult. This is the first year where I only had one business thing come down, and normally I have like 6. That makes it even a bigger pain in the butt, but it actually worked out and in my favor. Didn't get any of the stimulus checks all the way through last year. Thought I was going to, because I was at a certain threshold, should have been able to, never got them. There was no number to call, no thing to dispute. Like, what are you supposed to do if you didn't get them, right? Like, nothing. They're like, call this number. You call that number, A, it rang busy. B, if you ever got through, it was like, we're sorry, if you're calling for the status of this, please go back to our online
It
portal,
was an
which
automated message.
which loops you right back through. I'm like, okay, that's how I got your number in the first place. Anyway, so did my taxes. Actually, they gave me the credits for the amounts that I should have gotten, so that was nice. So
Nice.
didn't owe this year, right at that break even point, but I didn't owe. So that I feel like that's a win.
Heck yeah.
There's years past where I've owed a massive amount of money in my eyes that I was like, ugh, I had it set aside, but it's still painful every time that you got to cut a check for that. Which by the way, again, the rant that I want to go, going down the path with this is that, in case anybody's listening, you need to know that the tax code, a quarter of it is about what you're getting taxed for and how you're going to get taxed. The other 2 or 3/4 of the tax code are how to get out of paying those taxes legally. Like, oh, well, you set up an LLC, your tax is an S corp, blah, blah, blah. That's where now you don't owe as much on, income tax and this and that. It's like, holy moly. Like, why don't they teach you this in school? Oh, it's because they want everybody to pay in the highest tax bracket possible. It's funny.
Yep.
You know what's funny? Because I had a rant like earlier about how TurboTax, isn't free, and they say it's free and they advertise free. Literally their commercial is free.
Yep.
Free. As long as you, and I don't know this for a fact, but it's like, oh, you have to submit a W-2. Oh, $50. That's not free, dude. That's not free. What do you think? This is free?
Yeah. Well, I found out, like, because I said the same thing to my parents, because like it's first off, like, you're at a certain like income level, and like if you're retired and things, like you should be able to use all of the easy forms. That's a true background thing that's happening in the background. But the truth is, I found out that there's actually a certain website link via TurboTax that you have to use in order to qualify for those actual free things. You can't just go to turbotax.com, log into your account if you already have one, set in all of the same revenue numbers that you made, and expect that it's actually going to be free. No, it'll still charge you because you use the general site, not the like one weird wacky page that you have to somehow end up on before you log in. I'm like, that is like bonkers crazy.
Wow.
Like, talk about a bait and switch. I didn't even know that was like legal, but apparently bait and switches are illegal now because, as soon as Jared, came out with the Subway thing, it's a huge bait and switch.
I do it all the time.
It's a lot, Jared.
Wait, what are we talking about?
Oh, I don't know. Let's
sure.
let's move on.
Not sure.
I don't. I like went off on like 8 tangents that had nothing to do with what we were talking about today.
Are we gonna stick with rants?
Sorry. I mean, we can. You got another one?
Yeah, well, no, but I just want to add to the jury duty. I've never been selected, and there's a big part of me that wishes that I would. I love being in unfamiliar situations with people that I don't know because I like to make it weird sometimes. So I would love to do that, but I've never been picked, and I don't know if I'm at this point in my life if I care. But it's like you're just sitting on the sidelines waiting to get in the game, and nobody wants to pick you.
Yeah,
so.
you want one of those, hey, it's not you, it's me conversations. Like at this point, like what is causing me not to get picked, right?
Yeah, I don't know. Oh well.
Yeah. Ryan,
They liked your longer hair better.
oh
Ah,
yeah, you
I'm
did.
just
You
kidding.
You did get
I
part of the
actually
fro.
like it shorter.
yeah, I did.
I need a
Sadly.
haircut. I'm looking haggard today. I had to go into work, which was odd. Actually speak in front of the whole entire staff, which was even more bizarre. Not because of just talking in front of people, but it's like,
Was
wait,
it a good speech or was it like a oh shit speech?
oh no, like my part was talking about an ERP system, enterprise
Oh,
resource
okay.
planning, and like the three people that talked before me kept referencing to that, and as I go to get up and start to say my speech, one guy comes to me, he's like, "Hey, can you explain what ERP means to these people?" And I'm like, yeah, man, it's like my number one thing because it's like I know nobody else explained it,
Wow.
and nobody has a clue. You guys keep throwing out acronyms. You know, it's
Yeah.
just funny. Everybody in the place is just like, what you keep
My
saying.
boss does that to me all the time from her old work. MIO, MCE, double FPO. Great. Sounds good. We'll just
Mhm.
do that. It'll take about 24 hours.
Yeah.
What will? I don't know.
Yeah, there's ROMs and bombs and like funny enough, there is an acronym for BOM, which stands for like bill of material and like bill of manufacturing, which you would think is the same thing. It ain't. Inside of the ERP system, and it drives me nuts trying to
Oh,
figure
that's weird.
like anyway. So down the line of like just things suck. Yeah, I hate acronyms. Like, just say what it is at this point. Like, it's quicker just to tell me what it is because half the people don't understand it. So then you explain it. It's like you could have just said that in the first place, and we would have been faster.
Yeah, for sure. Because now we have two business units under one umbrella, and they have different acronyms that they use that we don't use.
Yeah.
And so I had to ask one time. It was like a PR something, and I was like, "Is that like a production release approval?" And he was like, "Yeah, basically, but we say it's this." And I'm like, "Okay." I just assumed in the stage like where we're at, like it's got to be production release something,
Yeah.
right? But it was totally different from what I said. I was like, "Yeah, close enough."
Yeah,
So
like
crazy.
it's hilarious. Like IT and accounting usually have the most acronyms ever. Well, I found out this company with their warehousing has way more acronyms than both IT and accounting ever possibly could have, which drives me crazy. Anyway, I had to go down and actually, explain where we're at with it. Had limited to 5 minutes, to keep it really short and sweet and tell everybody where we're at, what time it's gonna like roll out, what everybody's role is. So my stuff went fine. I've tried to not be the like boring guy that's just up there like rambling on. I was like, all right, raise your hands if you think this, and I made fun of the CEO at one point in time, so everybody laughed. So got a chuckle, but it was weird. I'm in front of 120 people, which is extra bizarre to be in front of 120 people just because of everything that we've went through recently.
Mhm.
Anyway, have you guys gotten into any funkiness today? Like, did you have any odd things happen this week with work? No. Okay. All right. Let me get into this topic because it's still along the lines of work. Because I'm having problems with this right now and I'm trying to fix it. What is your biggest weakness with work, and has it gotten worse since you've been working from home? And I'll go first, right? Mine especially has always been time management. I've always worked for multiple companies at once, all of which they always know about. Everybody's open. They understand because normally it's always owned by the same guy in one way, shape, or form. So I'm like pulled off. And being in IT, it's even worse because it's like squirrel. You're always getting yanked. Somebody's walking past your office, grabbing you. So I always had problems with time management just because everything's a priority one. There's always a fire. I'm always been the only IT guy, so it's you're getting ripped left, right, up, down.
I forgot my password again for my email. Can you help me out, please?
Ironically, I hardly got that much. It's normally like, hey, my mouse stopped working. I'm like, can you change the batteries? Like, like something like that. That's what it used to be. Anyway, so now that we're working from home, I'm having like an extra hard time. And this has been this way for 12 months. And I'm really trying to actively make a choice to make it better. But like, when you're working from an office, you're like, kind of got to pee, whatever. I'll finish this up really quick before I walk across this building and go to the bathroom, or, I'm not going to go grab a snack or refill my water. I'll do that on the way. You're trying to be like efficient at when you're going to get up and do certain stuff. For me, now the bathroom's on the other side of this wall from me. So like you just get up when you kind of got to go, and, You know, the phone's ringing nonstop because everybody can't just walk past your office. So like, there's a lot of distractions. I'm having problems with that. What about you guys? Excuse me. What about you guys?
So for me, my biggest weakness is being engaged.
Wow, I thought you were already married, but okay.
Yeah, well, listen,
Got a
Married
girlfriend with
for-
a wife on the side.
yeah, marrying for money this time around. Um, just being engaged, and not because I'm at home. It's just that I like what I do, but I don't love what I do. So it's been a tough 12 months, anyways, just in general with work. So kind of resetting and restarting and just keep going up until I get back to where I want to be and what I love doing. So for me, it's just being engaged. So like, I'm 50% in, 50% out most of the time. Sometimes I'm like all in. So I fluctuate by the day and by what's happening. Obviously, I pay enough attention so that if there's some sort of fire, like I have, you know, a background to come through. But half the time I'm like, we'll sit on these calls and I'm like playing a game, or I'm just like drawing, like I'm somewhere else in my mind. So for me, that's the toughest part. And that happened when we were in an office too. So, I find like I'm more, if something shiny over here, I can certainly go, oh, I'd rather go do that. Let me go figure that out. Right. But just being engaged lately has been tough for me.
I've gotten to a point, Andy, where I can literally sit here and play my game just like this and still communicate and talk. I'm not kidding you. Like, I'll sit here and it's called Mr. Autofire. I think I talked about it in one of the last episodes, right? It shoots for you. So all you have to do is dodge bullets. That's all you have to do.
Nice.
And jump, obviously. And, it's does not take a lot up here. So I can literally play this game and still have a full-blown conversation.
Yeah.
It's bad, and I'm in the same boat. I'm like 50% in, 75% out. Some days it's just really up and down. And the worst part for me is, I guess there's no real accountability until you have to deliver something.
Mm-hmm.
And when you were in the office, there was accountability because, yes, you might be sitting on your phone when somebody comes in, right? Now, you're not going to do that 50 times in a row, right? You're not just going to be like, oh, what's up? Weren't you on your phone last time I came in? Yeah, what's up? Why? you're not going to do that.
Yeah.
You're going to your boss is looking, maybe the CEO's in there, who knows? So it's just like, I wish I could go back into the office, which I totally can. But nobody else is there. I'm going to go into the office and have a single screen because all my monitors and stuff are here. I'm going to go back and sit in an office with one computer, no other screens, in an office by myself with maybe 3 other people in the office doing the same thing with their doors shut. So it's pointless for me to go to the office. So I've just been really struggling. Some days are good. Those are the days I have meetings where I'm forced to be busy. I had a couple projects that I was working on that I had to deliver presentations on, and I procrastinated so much I stayed up until like 10, 11, maybe midnight trying to finish them. Woke up the day before and even started working on them again. Like it's just
so it's just like pretty much like you were back
flow.
in college or high school where it's like, hey, I got this really quick deadline that I have to meet, so I'm gonna wait till the last second to do it and then just burn through the night.
Yeah, which I could do, right? I could stay up late. That's not the issue. But the issue is just being, not in during your normal work hours. You're just not there.
Yep.
Tough.
Yep.
It is.
Now, see, they're wanting everybody to start to at least work a day or two back in the office. They're not going to mandate the office staff all come in, but almost everybody was there today, obviously, for this presentation that we were doing. And like, I've always had an office for like the last 10 something years, and like there's not an office for me. One, because they downsized the office here. We moved into a new building. It's got way less office space, but more floor space for all the equipment and everything. So A, I wouldn't get an office, and I don't really feel like sitting in a cube. And B, like my main job of what I'm doing anyway needs me to be laser focused only on one thing. The problem is they're now wrapping me into like all these other things, and I'm like, okay. They're like, where are you at with that? I'm like, I haven't touched it. Yeah, well, you want me to touch it? I got to stop doing the one thing you major thing that you hired me on to do right now that has a complete deadline of putting this whole software in and changing every bit of part of the company, and it goes live in October. What? Want me to change that? They're like, oh no. So weird situation, but I'm gonna still continue to work from home, but I'm definitely needing help with time management, and that's the only thing. Like LinkedIn, I got like a free 30-day thing for LinkedIn to like, you get
The
special,
premiere.
yeah, you get special perks, like, and all of them are stupid. Like, however, they got really good courses that you get for free on there that are like, because they purchased lynda.com or something, like they got really good courses. And I'm taking this course on time management, and it's funny because I can't stay focused long enough for the time management thing in order to actually go through the whole thing.
Wow.
So
That's
awesome.
great.
yeah, first world problems, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, I mean, I think we've said it before. My perfect scenario, and even since I've, and I would say I'm a little bit more productive, right, over the past couple weeks, but it's still, you just feel like you have those moments. But I would say my perfect scenario is like 3 days out of the week now. Not even just 2 days working at the office. I'd probably say 3, just to keep me focused, keep me on task, get me back into a schedule too. I have to be in the office at, I used to go in at 7:30. I used to get there at 7, but have to be in at 7:30, right? Because I clocked in. I'd be there at 7, be out by like 2:30, 3 o'clock. Now I'm just like 8:30. Yeah, sure. It's tough. A little bit different when you have kids, but I don't.
All right, let's go on to the next topic. Andy has something embarrassing to talk about, and everybody pretty much knows what it is because it was what the notification got sent out. It's what the title of the broadcast stream is. So Andy, go ahead.
Lesson learned. You have to be more discreet.
Okay, so Saturday we were hanging out, and we decided to, my wife and I, we decided to go down into the basement and watch a movie. We hadn't watched a movie down there in a while. It's nice and cool. We have big oversized chairs, like all that. So we're down there, kind of just watching TV. My one daughter had a friend over. The other one, they're busy. They're doing something. So we're like, hey, it's dark. Nobody's really paying attention to us. Whatever. I think they might have been swimming. I'm like,
Did you get approval for this story?
Doesn't matter.
Just kidding.
I don't know. Listen, that's not the most embarrassing story I could tell for her on her behalf. So one day. So, we're just hanging out. I'm like, hey, what are you doing? You want to take your clothes off and make some bad decisions? So we were in separate chairs. And so these are oversized chairs, like big, comfy, like you go to those special movie theater like that. So I'm in one, she's another. So we combined and we're just kind of like doing whatever. And so we have 3 of them, and we put one in front of the door because the basement doesn't lock. So I purposely did that because I have daughters that live down there. I don't want the door locked. There's no chance that's going to happen. And probably within the next 2 to 3 years, there'll be no doors down there whatsoever. So we put it in front of the door. So we're just kind of doing whatever. Nothing. Nobody's in anybody yet. We'll just say that.
I was like, how's it gonna say? As you see, you go, nobody's in anybody. And now it's even more bizarre. We have so many questions because I thought it could only go one way.
So just messing around, right? I'm rounding second base. We'll call that.
Yeah, that's a better way to put it.
All right. Well, nobody's in. I think you get the metaphor like that. So we're doing that, and then you hear the down the stairs, and I'm like, oh shit. So wife sits up, they crack the door. Hey, how come the chair's here? What are you guys doing? What's happening? What's going on? Right? All this flashlights. What are you guys doing?
There's flashlights?
Probably.
Just like what? Okay.
What are you guys doing? What do you want? Right? Well, what are you guys doing? Why is the thing here? Like a million questions. So I have a 10-year-old and a 13-year-old. My 10-year-old's friend is in 3rd grade. So she's in 5th grade and she has a 3rd grade friend. So she's 8, I guess. So find my kids. This one, I'm like, oh boy. I don't know. How was she going to go back to her parents and be like, hey, Sini's mom and dad were like doing stuff. So like, whatever, they leave. And my wife looks at me and I'm like, I don't know. The door doesn't lock. Put something else there, right? Like, let's put some other stuff. Take some more stuff, put it away. So now at this point, we're like, now we're confident. It went away. Good. Now it's game on, right? So now there's no clothes on. Now it's like,
oh yeah, like you went full on. Like let's totally go all out.
game on. Right?
Not just like a sneak one in.
No, full on. But in the back of my mind, I'm like, this has to be faster than normal. Now listen, right? I already prepped her. I'm like, this is gonna be the best 42 seconds in the basement, anyways. But now, like, this has to be much quicker.
So this is your house right now. Like this is the door and like all the chairs and furniture you got stacked up.
Like zombie apocalypse. You're not getting in, right? Like we are barricaded in there. So I'm like, all right, let's go. You know, we're kind of laughing about it, whatever. So we start going, and here come those little bastards again. And this time, now, when you come into you come down the stairs and you turn left, right? Like the doors are right there. It's just I guess it's a standard basement. I don't know. So you come down and then there's the doors. So when the door opens into the basement, what the wall you see is all mirrors. We have never taken those off.
Oh wow.
So yeah. So they peek in and then they open a little, and between the reflection of the mirror and whatever they caught of me, they saw like backside, right? So no shirt. Somebody said they saw my butt, and I was like, whatever. I don't know about that. So I'm like, get out of here. Whatever. So at this point, we're just dying laughing. We're just dying laughing. So finish. My wife's like, what are we supposed to do? And I'm like, just pretend that we were pranking them. Just pretend like they thing happened.
Psych.
Yeah. So at this point, all we hear is gross. Bleh, bleh, you guys are so disgusting. That's terrible. Oh my God, I'm blind. I'm never gonna be upset. Like my life is ruined. My childhood I'm traumatized. We like hear all this running back up the stairs. So my wife sneaks upstairs, does what she needs to do, and then she comes back down. I'm like, what am I supposed to do? So I don't even know where they went. I run upstairs, change my clothes, come back down, and they're like, they came back down. We moved the chairs, so they come back down and they just come and like look at us with these like sneaky eyes, like, can't believe you guys are disgusting. I'm like, what? We totally pranked you. Like, what are you talking about? My little one's like, Dad, I saw your butt. No, you didn't.
So I would have played it off, be like, yeah, I was trying to moon you. That was the whole purpose.
Basically, is what I was like. We were just messing with you guys because we knew you weren't going to leave us alone, so we were just goofing around. Bought it, hook, line, and sinker. Bought it. I'm like,
wow,
yeah. So then a day or so goes by, and then we were joking about it again. And so my older one goes, we have a camera down there. Pull up the tape. Let's see what you guys are doing. And I'm like, oh shit, I totally forgot that we had a camera down there. It didn't even cross my mind.
Gosh.
So the whole point is to make sure that they don't do dumb stuff down there, right? Like jumping, messing around, whatever, staying up late.
Backfire.
Having sex.
Essentially. So I was like,
now you got the greatest hits on record, right?
Listen, I was like, business idea, OnlyFans, right? So I'm like,
I'm making money.
I told him, I go, guys, it doesn't record past 24 hours. And like, you lied to us and all this stuff. I'm like, yeah. Well, you pulled up this and you told me you could see this. I'm like, yeah, I could see 24 hours. Well, that's not true. So I was like, oh no. I didn't want to go back and lie. I didn't want to do any of that. I thought about it today and I was like, I'm not doing anything.
I would have went back. I would have been like, I'm going back. I want to see my performance.
I might. Just for fun.
There we go. Next time I'll just tweak it a little bit.
Yeah. Is that what I look like in night vision? Like, ugh.
Also, at that age, do you think, and I'm totally like over my head, you know, for me, what age do they start like, okay, we kind of get it?
So like, that's a good question. So my older one pretends like she knows, and I think she has a decent idea. So
and what grade is this? What's an older?
She's in 7th grade.
Okay.
So she's 13. Next year in 8th grade, they show them the video, right? The video about all of it.
This is a school thing. They do that?
They do that in 8th grade, which is funny because when I was in junior high, it was 6th grade. So
yeah, I was going to say, yeah, it was, man, it might have been 5th grade for me. No, it was 6th grade. It was middle school. You're right.
Yeah.
I think they should be showing that at 3rd grade now. Geez, like all these things going on. Anyways.
So yeah, 8th grade, they get to see the video. And so I think she like wants to say she knows, but what her knowledge is, I'm not interested to find out what her knowledge is, because as her dad, I don't want to know that as my daughter. But I know that when she watches the video, there'll be some traumatized, like, oh my God, because I think part of it's watching a baby come out and talking about other stuff. But I don't know. My little one, not really. And then the other one, the friend, who knows, right? She made a comment to her friend, my youngest one, about like, well, you guys already have 2 kids or something like that. So who knows what this little girl even knows? Like, I don't know, right? I have no clue. So we're just like, whatever. We just swept it all under the rug and we'll just pretend like nothing happened. But I think that they know enough, but I don't think they know all of it. And listen, as an adult, you know, when you're in like your 20s, I'm sure you probably find out more and more and more as you grow older. But what they know at 13 and 10, I don't think is a ton, other than whatever they might have seen on TV. Now, most of what they watch is restricted, obviously, by rating, but occasionally, you know, YouTube, they'll find stuff on YouTube.
Yeah, it's not hard to find it.
Yeah, I think they know enough about like second base stuff. I don't know if they know anything past that. So
that's interesting, and that's crazy, because I don't even, all I think I remember going over in like maybe middle school, maybe even really the only thing I remember is in high school, and we just went through like the anatomy, right? Like the changes of the body. We were never shown, from my recollection, the video.
Oh, right? we had 2 different things. There was a place that you went, like it was like a field trip day where they would take you there, separate you two, and I think this was 6th grade. They would separate you two. You know, girls would go to the girls' class, guys would go to the guys' class. And I remember one of the things was they had this like 30-foot mannequin that was like clear, and like like all of the organs and stuff lit up like as they were talking through different things, and then like the testicles lit up, and like I lost it. I thought that was the funniest thing ever to see like this.
That's some BDE right there.
Yeah, this huge, gigantic, you know, dong all of a sudden lit up. I was just like, that's funny to me.
Yeah,
oh
like,
my gosh.
I remember 6th grade, we watched videos, and it was more about babies being born, and, you know, they talked about periods and different things like that. But then in high school, I don't know what year it was, we went to the, it was like the health department or something. We took a field trip. Now, mind you, in high school, I went to Sholo High School. So it was 100 kids in my entire high school. So they took us on a field trip for some particular class where they taught us a little bit more. And it felt kind of weird because like we're probably 16 or 17 years old, and it's like your body's changing and all this stuff. I'm like, really? Like, come on, this is what you're teaching us. But what they ended up doing, I don't know what they gave girls, but they definitely split us up. They gave all the boys condoms. So I remember that, because, you know, you're like 17 years old, like, this is the coolest thing ever, and you're gonna
yeah, see, we talked about it like, so that was like 6th. I remember by 8th grade, then we had the videos and everything at 8th grade, because like we actually had a health class that you like, it was all about it was pretty much like early stage biology, but it was more geared towards like you and your body changing. Like, so I remember all of that, watching the videos and stuff. And then I remember getting into high school and like something along the same time kind of lines, but like wasn't, but I don't think we ever got handed anything like that. I just remember being a discussion point and different things being talked about, but it was just like, well, whatever.
Yeah. So who knows? I don't know what they know. We haven't talked about it in a couple of days, but it was interesting. Now, normally that venue that we chose is not normal. So normally it's in our room. There's an actual door that locks. They're in bed, like, you know, there are designated times and whatever, especially if they're not in the house. But that was just like a spontaneous whatever, and it was funny. But you know,
you try to go out of the norm one time, and look what happens.
Try to spice it up.
Don't worry, it won't be the last, guaranteed.
No. Well, I told my oldest one that. I said, you know, why don't you go to school and ask some of your friends if they've ever done that with their parents, and see the traumatized look that they give you, because they've probably full on walked in the door and there's, you know, dad trying to jump over mom or something. Who knows what's happening? They're trying to play leapfrog and they don't know. I can only imagine. I was like, go ask. You think you didn't see anything? So.
Well, let me ask you this question: have you ever walked in on, on your parents, or yeah, I know Andy, you didn't live with your parents, but like anybody in your family, have you ever walked in on them?
No. Roommates, right? As
Yeah,
I was
well,
older,
yeah.
but not family. Nope.
Yeah. Ryan?
Just roommates.
Okay. See, like my biological parents when they were still married, like I remember like I was had to have been like 4 or 5 maybe. I remember walking in them on them once, like didn't know what was going on, turned around, walked out. But like years later, like I figured out what was going on. Like that was just like cracked me up, so that happened. But didn't
funny.
scar me for life, but also I'm a dude, right? So I was just
Yeah.
like, all right, yeah,
Yeah.
whatever. Whatever. Like, and I got a son, so I feel like it's gonna be easier than having, girls. I don't. You only have girls, and you got 2 girls, and they're
Mm.
decently close in age, but at the same time, still not. So it's not like you can talk to them both at the same time because it's a different conversation for both of them, and
Yep.
the world is completely different than when we grew up. Things are so earlier. Like Ryan was, making a joke about, well, I feel like I should be 3rd grade now. Like, I don't even know how to
Okay.
handle that.
There's
Yeah.
like 13-year-old girls looking like they're 18 and stuff. You know what I mean? That's all I really meant by that. By how people dress, by how people act, and it's crazy for sure.
Well,
Mhm.
since we're on the topic of doing the dirty and things, Ryan, I hear you have a secret code about your butthole.
Oh God.
Is it yours? Maybe it's not
Mm.
yours. Is it secret
Ye-
code to open somebody else's?
Yeah. Pass. No, I'm just kidding. So I was before our pregame show, right? I'm just scrolling. I'm just hanging out. We're chatting, and I see this video. The titles, right? Titles pretty much only, and gives you like one sentence. Tesla owners discover new voice command. Open butthole. And I'm just like, what? And if you know anything about Teslas, right? It's like, there's Easter eggs within them. Some of them do Christmas light shows, and I didn't know this, but apparently there's a fart mode. You can literally play go-karts on your steering wheel, right? There's so many cool things you can do with Teslas. If you haven't seen them, just YouTube them. But I literally am on my phone and I see this. The command for Tesla owners, open butthole. And so this guy does it. And originally I was like, that's so weird. Like, why would anybody? I thought it opened up his gas tank, right? But I looked up to it. It was his, there's the name for it, the glove department or compartment. Welcome to the glove department, ma'am. How can I help you?
That's amazing. Oh, Elon.
Turn your head and
He's
cough,
really-
please.
Size medium, small, or large.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, no, so it's the glove compartment, and you just say like, I don't know how it works in a Tesla, probably pretty similar to your phones, right? You just press a little button and you say open butthole. And then you can say close butthole too, and it closes. But that's
amazing.
pretty interesting. And I just want a Tesla just for that.
I don't even know what to say. Like that's something that you learned here this week. Something that I learned this week, and I can't do this as a question. But like, did you know not everybody can unfocus their eyes whenever they want to?
Oh, I do it all the time.
I know, but did you know that not everybody can do that?
That's interesting. Because like when you're really like, for example, and maybe this is a bad example, but when you're in bed with your partner, right? And
Heyo.
hey, this all ties in, right?
No, just
We're doing
just
the
stop
dirty.
there because it sounds like you don't want to see your partner in focus.
No. You're in bed with your partner and your faces are just really close, right? They're just really close. And if you actually like focus something on that close, you borderline like go cross-eyed.
Yeah.
Right? So my theory and what I do is I can peripherals, right? You can clearly see my hand and that it's in my face, right? But if I look past my hand, then I don't have to look like an idiot looking at my hand like this, right? So instead you look past them, and it's kind of very similar. You focus on something else, essentially. So that's very interesting that not everybody can do that. So I'm doing it right now. You guys look like little blotches.
Well, it's crazy to me because like I thought everybody could cross their eyes. So basically this means that not everybody can cross their eyes, because that's essentially like like I get what you're talking about, Ryan. Like, like you're going cross-eyed by doing things, and it
Should
does.
we do a close-up here?
But like you can unfocus your eyes by basically just slightly starting to cross-eye yourself, and it goes out of focus. Now it's just creepy.
Weird.
Okay, they're focused, and they're unfocused, right?
Hmm.
What's going on with my eyes? Anything?
I don't like this.
No.
This is making me nervous.
it's just creeping me out. Like I don't know what to say, but for the audio listeners, he's just staring dead into the camera with it zoomed way in.
Oh, that's funny.
It looked like a slight difference, and I'm just talking about like a super minute difference. But it's just, I swear, it's just how if your eyes are looking straight on or if they just slightly curve in. But I can also make my eyes shake. Like I can't zoom in like you can, but like I can make my eyes shake a little bit and stuff. I used to do it as like a party trick in high school all the time because I could do it like ridiculous back then. I can't do it as good now. But I had no clue. Andy, did you know this at all?
No.
Yeah, I didn't know either. You all three can blur your eyes, right?
Yeah.
Sure.
I think now I feel like Andy doesn't know what the hell we're talking about.
Nope, I have no clue. You're like, unfocus your eyes. Like, they're not binoculars. I can't like turn them. What the fuck are you talking about? Okay, I'm just gonna go along with it.
No, like if you're looking at the screen right now, you're telling me that you can't just like if you whether you're relaxing your eyes or you just kind of start to like mildly cross them, you can't make it go blurry.
Like you just like gaze through the TV almost. You just like, through the monitor.
All right, well, that's a 1 out of 3, that apparently falls into this category because he thinks we're batshit crazy.
Wow.
Apparently there's a construction truck outside reversing. Anyways, sorry.
Beep, beep. Anyway.
Did you guys hear it?
No.
Oh, okay, that's good.
I was just giving you the audio tone just so that way you had a feeling on it. All right, let's follow it up with what we are watching because I like that topic. Like I said before, you guys got me back into New Girl. So Andy, let's start with you. Yep. What are you currently watching, and what should we also watch?
So I've been watching a couple things. One, I'm still on The Expanse.
I still want to get into that so bad, and like I've watched like the first episode and a half like 3 times, and then for some reason I fall out of it. I think it's because focus.
So I got through the first season, and I'm on like season 2, episode 1 or 2. It's interesting. Like you do have to pay attention because it is just kind of like an ongoing story, and there's all these little mini drama things that you got to pay attention to. So I occasionally watch that. We've been watching a lot of Tiny House Nation. My daughter's really into that right now.
Love it.
Yeah. It's so neat how much you can do with such a tiny space. The storage ideas and the sneaky ways things are done, and it's just so cool to see that. And what else have I been watching? Oh, I recently started Brooklyn Nine-Nine back up again. I like that show. Superstore also. Those are 2 good ones.
Ryan?
And that's it. We haven't watched anything else.
Yeah, so I guess it was Schitt's Creek. I think we've kind of Corey got way far ahead of me. She probably still watches it. But Brooklyn Nine-Nine, we're starting that for the very first time. So that's amazing. Mm-hmm. But I'm going to tell a quick little story about another show that I'm watching. And it kind of has to do, it all relates back to what we've talked about previously. So I'm watching Solar
Andy getting caught?
I don't know.
Or buttholes. Because the topics that we've talked about tonight, I want to know how it wraps back in.
It's just in like regards to private parts.
Okay.
So Solar Opposites. It's from the creators of Rick and Morty, right? It's on Hulu.
Oh, yeah.
It's pretty good. The season 2 I don't know if it just came out, but I saw it came out. So I'm watching it. And this guy, if you get beat up and, it's a cartoon, right? I'm not saying this is advice. But if you're getting beat up and bullied in class, go to the gym, get stronger, and be able to beat them up, right? Like that's the natural way of like, I'm going to beat them up instead. I'm going to get swole, right? So he goes to the gym and he's like, no, and he sees these like bodybuilders just ripped. And they're like, how do you guys get so confident? And they're like nerdy guys. They're like, we're not confident at all. We thought getting bigger would also help our confidence, and it doesn't. We realize that it's all internal. You're just like born with it. Like that guy over there, they point to this guy, and you can see in his pants, he's got this massive junk, right? Massive, massive bulge going on here, and they called it BDE, that big dick energy.
Oh, I know I wasn't on camera for that, but I had just taken a drink. I almost just had a spit take. That was
That
good.
was awesome.
And I forgot what you had said, Andy, but it was like something shining down below, like what? Oh, it was your 30-foot tall mannequin
yeah.
where his balls lit
Oh
up.
yeah.
And this relates to that because in the show he's like, oh, I need some of that BDE then. And he's an alien, right? So he's got all this technology, he makes his thing way too big and it's glowing gold. And so he's walking around and all of a sudden his life changes. Everybody's like, hey man, I'm so sorry about doing that to you. He's getting free stuff, he's famous, he's on talk shows now, he's performing live on like SNL or like relative shows, right? He's amazing. So he's like, I want to make it bigger. And everything's just about this BDE. And when you said glowing nutsack, pretty much, Ryan, on that 30-foot mannequin, that's exactly what I thought of because I just saw it today, but it was hilarious. So, if you're getting beat up, just get on that BDE game.
BDE.
All right. Well, I've been watching a few different things. I couldn't think of it right at first, so I decided to bring up my Netflix history. Yep. And I have a few different ones that I've watched, and I want to know. We'll do them one by one because I want to know your guys' opinion on it. Have either of you watched Thunder Force on Netflix yet?
Awful.
Absolutely. Terrible.
Yes,
I quit.
Terrible.
Like, we watched it all the way through, and I was like, that wasn't terrible enough for me to like. If it was a movie, I wouldn't have walked out of the movie theater, but I would have been mad that I paid for it. And I was like, I didn't stop it, but at the end, I was just like, that could have been written so much better. I was like, that was just like terrible writing.
The trailer for it was so awesome.
Yeah,
like looked hilarious.
It was like the only good parts they yanked out to be the trailer.
Don't watch it.
Yeah, I was like, oh my god, like it had great special effects, like for the little pieces that they did. It had decent actors or actresses. They're like, the acting wasn't terrible. It was just like a horrible storyline.
Yeah, I think there was too much. There was too much standing by. The scenes where there was action and stuff going on was like, it's like they didn't have enough money to continue moving forward, so they stopped and they're like, well, let's just have a conversation for 30 minutes.
Yeah,
and it doesn't move. It's just it's so boring.
So for me, the funniest part was Jason Bateman as the crab, and every time something happened and he would walk way sideways with his hands in the air, I lost it every time I saw that. And then her putting butter on it, like doing weird stuff with it. That was it. The rest of it was terrible. I couldn't stand it.
Yeah,
I missed that.
Oh yeah, like there are like glimpses of awesomeness in it that are like, if you just kept on with this thing, like you could have just like ran with that. But no, it's like you just took bad parts and decided to keep growing with that. Anyway.
What's that actress's name? Michelle or
Melissa McCarthy?
Melissa McCarthy?
Yeah.
She has some really good stuff. So I was surprised at how bad that was because I love her movies most of the time. That was subpar.
Yep, totally agree. All right, still watching New Girl. The other thing that season 2 just launched, and I don't know if either of you guys watched season 1, but it's again on Netflix called The Circle. It's a social media competition.
Yeah, that's
so dumb.
Popping up. I thought about watching it and like watching the little preview. I was like, I can't take this.
I agree with Ryan. It is so dumb, but it is so dumb that I can't shut it off. I like legitimately can't shut it off. I'm like, I just want to watch another one because it's like, this is so ridiculous that I want to watch it again. So
you're literally just watching people text each other.
Yeah, but like they're supposed to be like voice dictating. All right, so here's the premise. They take, I think there's six to eight people, right? They're all in different apartment rooms in this complex, whether they are or not, or they're in a production studio, it doesn't matter. They're all segregated. This doesn't have anything to do with COVID. This was even season 1 was like this. They're all in different rooms. They have big TVs. They got TV in the kitchen, TV in the bathroom. That like they see what's going on, and the production group is like literally feeding them stuff of, okay, you can say, hey, Circle, please give me a private chat with Bob and Tom, and then now you're chatting with them, but not like verbally. So nobody gets to see you, nobody gets to hear you. You just are. It's all through like a text message thing, but they're all voice dictating and tell you how they feel about it. And this makes it sound extra dumb, but it's not that bad, right? Like it's a next level above because you can catfish people. So you come in like, I'm going to tell you for season 2, somebody comes in and says that they're Lance Bass from NSYNC. And half the group doesn't have a damn clue who NSYNC is or Lance Bass from NSYNC, which is funny just because their age range, right? But that person's catfishing. That person's actually not Lance Bass. However, it is Lance Bass's assistant. So she knows in great detail how he would, react to things and do different stuff. So it's just what social media is, right? It's not necessarily the person you're talking to. So first, the person gets to choose whether they're actually going to be themselves or not, and then how they respond. So you have guys acting like they're girls and like they're now in this girl group chat because they think everybody's a girl, and he has to think of how he needs to interact with them. So season 2 is better than season 1 so far, and they only released the first 4. And like, if you haven't watched it, just give it a go and go through the first episode, and at the end of it, you may think like that wasn't terrible, but I want to watch another one. And if you like start to watch the next one, then you're like, oh man, I feel like I want to like watch this thing, right? Like,
there just needs to be a disclaimer saying, hey guys, this is what could happen. Like, I see this being beneficial to young people watching this, right? Sure. You can't trust everything. The show is darn right stupid. I hate it. I see that it's entertaining. I really do. I watched a full episode. I see that it can be entertaining, but it's just so bad. But there should be a disclaimer saying, kids, this is why you need to be careful. It could definitely have some value, but they don't portray it as that. Obviously, they're trying to get ratings. So
yep. And then the last one I've been watching, again, still sticking on the Netflix craze, and this is over the last couple of weeks. This just isn't the last week, but it is Nailed It, and it's like season 6 or whatever, which is like it's now like the pairs. Doubles. Yeah, it's got doubles in it and everything else, which it's like only like 5 episodes this season. I'm like, this is the easiest show to produce. Why aren't you just like crapping out like 30 episodes? I don't care if you don't release them all at once, but like release like 6 a month. Like, I'm fine with that.
What show is it?
Nailed it.
What is that about?
So it's
cooking show.
Yeah, it's a baking show, but it's with people that can't bake.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
So like they want you to like create this
things.
cupcake that like has this thing, and some of them are absolutely ridiculous what they need to create, and other ones are like, I feel like I could create that and it wouldn't be terrible, but it wouldn't be perfect. And these people just the bed completely.
Yeah, it's bad. So I looked up recently, we were watching this, and I was like, it'd be kind of fun if they had like a dad-daughter thing. I would totally go on there with my daughter. So they want you to take video of you failing at baking and submit that as your tape. And they're purposely looking for people that are shitty cooks or bakers. Like, you have no skills.
Yeah. Yeah. And my wife keeps, Katie keeps talking about it. She's like, I really want to go on that. I was like, no, you're too good. She's like, no, I'm not. I'm like, the things you cook don't come out looking like a literally dog shit. These people come out with like dog shit that's falling apart. Like, what do you think? She's like, no, my stuff's not that. I was like, no, you're not like Food Network. I was like, but they're not looking for Food Network. They want somebody that's like absolutely terrible. They can't even follow directions. Like, it's a cake.
10 grand.
Oh yeah.
For 10 grand, I would do it. Just pretend like you're really bad, and then, go on there and hope that you win 10K.
Oh, I got so lucky.
So those are the things that I'm watching, and I think everybody should check out each one of them because it's good. Thunder Force, though, no, don't check that out. Like, just know if that's on your watch list, take it off. There's no reason to.
I wish you could react on here, but you can't. I was thinking about, you can't even do a thumbs down in Skype.
Nope. And even though it doesn't show through to everybody else. So
yeah.
All right. Well, we appreciate everybody watching, listening to us this week, especially on those that are joining us on Facebook and YouTube Live now. And we post we're live every Wednesday. Try to post them every single week. So appreciate everybody joining us, and we will see everybody next week.
Hasta la vista.